This is part 2 of our video on present value annuities. So we just finished taking a look at the formula and modeling how one of these annuities works. And we are going to start doing 2 examples using the new formula. So this question says, Matilda buys a condo and arranges a mortgage with a bank that charges 4.8% per annum, so that's per year, compounded monthly, that's 12 times a year, over a 25-year term. She makes monthly mortgage payments of $1,518.44. And I want to know what the purchase price was of the house, or in this case, the condo. So this is not a simple or compound interest question. It does say compounded, but it talks about there being monthly mortgage payments. And we will discuss in class how you tell the difference between the two annuity formulas. But essentially here, she's buying a house at the beginning. So we want to look at what was the original starting price of the house, not the price of the house with all the interest on it, but what was the price of the house when it was listed in the beginning. So we're going to try our new annuity formula, which is P equals R times 1 takeaway 1 minus I, not to the n, but the negative n, divided by I. And you have to be careful. It's very easy to miss that negative n. So I have P, R, I, and n. The 4.8% is my interest rate, but it is being compounded monthly, so we divide it into 12 equal installments. And we always divide it by 100. So 4.8, calculator here, divided by 12, divided by 100 is 0.004. Okay, 25-year term. So we're making payments for 25 years, but we're doing it 12 times a year. So 12 times 25 is 300, so we're going to make a total of 300 payments. It also says we're making the payments of $1,518.44. So you have to ask yourself, is that the total price of the house, or is that the monthly payment that we're making? It's the payment that we're making, so it's going to go in for my R. I can tell that because it says it's a payment. All right, so we're going to substitute our values into our formula. So P equals $1,518.44 times 1 takeaway 1, sorry, that should be a plus in that bracket there. So 1 plus 0.004 to the power of negative, don't forget the negative, 300. Divided by 0.004. So please make sure you corrected that was a minus sign, but it should have been a plus. That's a plus there as well. All right, so what I want to do is use my calculator to do the calculation. So I'm just going to punch in exactly what I see. So $1,518.44 times bracket 1 takeaway bracket 1 plus 0.004 close bracket to the power of, don't forget the negative here, so negative 300, close the bracket, divided by 0.004. And I end up with $264,999.66. So the purchase price was $264,999.66. Now there's a part B to this question. It says how much interest did she end up paying over the 25 years? So I know that the original cost was $264,999.66. But what I don't know is how much money she put in. So we know she was making payments of $1,518.44. And she made 12 payments a year for 25 years, which means she made a grand total of 300 payments. So if I want to know how much she pays, I take that $1,518.44 and I times it by 300 because she makes 300 of those payments. So 1518.44 times 300 means she puts in a grand total of $455,532, which is a lot more than what the price was listed for. So if she had had the cash, she could have saved herself a whole lot of money here. So I'm going to take that $455,532. I'm going to subtract the actual price of $264,999.66. And I find that she got charged $190,532.34 in interest alone. Now they say that when you buy a house, you end up paying roughly double for it when you get a mortgage. All right, so she had to pay $190,532.34 in interest. Ouch. Okay, our last question here about Jerry says that Jerry buys a new car for $25,469.75 and finances it at 5.2% per annum compounded weekly over a period of 60 weeks, starting in a week's time. How much will his weekly payment be? Now, I tried to word this question a little bit more like the ones in the textbook, because the ones in the textbook, they word it quite oddly. So the original part's okay. Here it says they're paying it over a period of 60 weeks, starting in a week's time. When it talks about starting in a week's time, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so when you read that in a question, don't worry, don't panic. It's not a big deal. It's just wording. Ignore it. Okay, now the part here that says 60 weeks, they're actually trying to be helpful by not telling you the number of years. They've calculated it already for you in weeks to match the compounding period, so it's less work for you. But it is tricky, and sometimes people think it's a little bit harder, but really they've just already figured out how many weeks. So when I take a look at this, I do see that we're making a weekly payment. And then this is the purchase price of the car, which would be the beginning price, the original price. So that's going to be my P. So I'm going to use the annuity formula with the P. So P equals R times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N divided by I. And I'm going to list all my letters. So that $25,469.75, that is not the payment. That's the actual price or the principal, the beginning price of our car. If you're ever not sure, ask yourself, does it make sense that we're making weekly payments of $25,000 for a car? That seems a little expensive for me. The interest rate is 5.2, but it is weekly, so we divide that by 52 weeks in a year and 100, and I get 0.001, I believe. Yep. Okay, and then our N here tells me it is 60 weeks, not 60 years. If it had been years, we would have multiplied, by weeks. If it was years, we would have multiplied it by 52 weeks in a year. But this is already in weeks. So I don't have to do anything with it. It's already been converted. We're making 60 payments for 60 weeks because it's being done weekly. So I don't actually have to do anything here. I just write down the 60. So $25,469.75 equals R times 1 minus 1 plus 0.001 to the power of, don't forget the negative, 60 divided by 0.001. So to solve, we're going to start, since I want to get the R by itself, by getting this 0.001 to the other side by multiplying. So 25,469.75 times 0.001, should just move my decimal place over, so I get 25.46975. That's going to equal R times 1 minus, I'm going to put these two together, 1.001 to the negative 60, don't lose that negative. And then I'm going to divide both sides by that bracket. Got a little lazy there and didn't actually write it all out. So I'm going to take my 25.46975 and divide it by bracket 1 minus, now that bracket there is kind of optional, bracket 1.001 close bracket to the power of, don't forget the negative on the 60, close bracket, equals, and I get $437.57. Okay, so what does that mean? What is his weekly payment? His weekly payment would be roughly $437.57. And that's that.